Hey, dear Tyler, good evening. How have you been? I know it's not the regular salutation. Yeah, I wasn't able to post a podcast yesterday, and yeah, a lot of things came up. For me that were a little bit overwhelming, and I had to try my best to figure them out as quickly as possible. But thanks be to God, right? He sent help for me in such a mighty way, and I made a commitment to myself that I would not allow anything to make me skip any day of Dear Tyler. So I sincerely apologize for not being able to share as I should have, but then I'm also making a commitment to us that I would be very much committed. I'll do my best possible to make every episode available in time, right? Nothing will stop me. So thank you so much for bearing with me. And yeah, it's been a fun ride, talking about the gifts of the Spirit. I don't know why I'm so particular about the gifts of the Spirit. The fruits of the Spirit. So probably God wants me to go back and do a study on the gifts. But it's been an amazing journey on the fruits of the Spirit. It's, for me, like I've always said, I always find myself either having to live out the things that I say or having to getting the opportunity to see other people live it out for me. And it's been very, very heartwarming, very revealing also for my own personality. I think recently I posted something. It's not part of the topic, but I just felt, let me push it in, and we'll still talk about it eventually. Those periods when you get hurt or somebody that's hurt you before, and you think that you've forgotten, and then all of a sudden you just see like the person being very happy, especially maybe like a new job, or they purchase something. There was this like bitterness that kind of like rose, and I actually had to make a post because I just knew it was absolutely wrong. And I think for me, what I was drawn back to, was like the first episode of the whole Fruit of the Spirit series. What's your favorite fruit? And God talking about love, and just being genuinely excited for people. Do you understand? Being genuinely excited for people, having a heart that forgives and all. It was really, really tough, and I'm sure a lot of us might have experienced it before. I don't have a grasp on it, right? Yes, I think that's the word. I don't have a grasp on it. I've not understood it. I am not. I don't know how to handle it. I just found myself, really asking God, like, all right, Father, see your boy. This person is doing well, and I know it's a good thing, but I'm pissed off because the person, left me scarred in some way. It brought me rather to this realization that truly we all need the help of God. These things called the fruit of the Spirit are not just things that you say, okay, I'm going to love, or I'm going to be patient, or I'm going to have joy. They are things that are really, really birthed by the Spirit of God. Really, really birthed by the Spirit of God. I think one of the most paramount prayers for me at this moment is, God, help me. Not necessarily help me, trying to meet a need, but then help my weaknesses, this human nature that always tries to creep up time in and time again. I really, really want to reflect you. I really, really want people to see you through me. But sometimes Benga just shows up, right? Bingo just shows up and help me to handle bingo. And I think it's an important prayer for all of us, right, Tyler? Just pray, God, help me to handle Tyler. Show me what to do. Do you understand? I think it's an amazing prayer point. But anyway, today's episode is kind of my thing, right? So that's the theme, and it's on kindness. Do I really have a lot to say about kindness? Well, I think the first thing that I will talk about, or just rather share, thing I notice is that kindness just goes beyond doing something good, for someone. It even goes beyond just helping a person. It transcends into the level, right, where your action is done not because of the reward or a potential reward you would get. In fact, at most times, right, where kindness would ever be shown, the person really cannot even pay you. The person cannot repay you in any way, generally, right? It's that foresight that you have, that empathy that you have for people, right? That you go ahead and then you think ahead for them and then you do things for them. So when I say think ahead for them, it's like I think it's a little bit of like showing favor to people or doing a favor, right? Doing someone a favor. Exactly. I think that's like almost what kindness is. It's you looking at a person, right? Being fully aware that the person cannot achieve a certain thing or handle something at that time, and then because you have that capacity for it, you just do it for the person, and you're doing it for the sake of being able to reach out to the person and the joy that the person would feel, the satisfaction that they would get from it being done. For instance, it's raining and then you see some people walking on the rain or trying to run from the whole showers and all, and you and then you have your car and then you're just like, oh, let me just help these people. Now think about it this way. It's one thing if you're heading towards a direction and they're heading your own direction, or even if they're not heading your direction, let's just say you're heading towards a certain direction, just that I'm heading towards here, I'll drop you off at so place, right? You've done like real good. But then I think for me, and I stand to be corrected, an act of kindness is literally changing your route because of the person. Literally changing your route. In an act of kindness, there could be some certain level of inconvenience in the sense that certain things will be altered, but because you want to reach out to the person, right? You want to reach out to the person. So you see a blind man on, trying to cross the road. You just ask the person, okay, let me help you cross the road and help you get to your destination. And you help the person get to the exact spot. You were headed somewhere, but that empathy, right, for the person pushed you to do something out of your way. You find out that you'll have to start going back, trying to catch up or meet up with things. Now that's how kindness is. That's how kindness is. You see, Jesus made mention of something. He said, what's the benefit, of doing good for people that are, already part of you, people that can, some way acknowledge you. Do you understand the beauty of the whole good acts and all? If you notice, I'm trying my best not to use the word goodness so much because we're still going to talk about it. But the wow, I think I've lost my Binga. Calm down. All right, so I don't know where I am right now in the discussion. Oh my god, this is so hilarious. But kindness, right? It's not just doing things that are things that people can really reward you for. Thank you, Jesus. Now, like I said, Jesus was saying that what's the point of just doing good for people that can either do good to you, kind of like reciprocate in favor, right? It's more beautifully shown when you do it for someone that can't even repay you. So you help the blind man, maybe get over to a specific spot. He doesn't even know who you are. He can never tell you thank you. He cannot do anything, and you just go, but you know that you've helped him reach his destination, something that he would have struggled with. You created the platform. You were like the leverage for them to get to their destination. So take for instance, right? Jesus heals. He doesn't just heal Christians. He's not going to heal people because they show allegiance to him in some way. No. In fact, everybody that Jesus healed in the Bible, they were basically not born again. Yeah, because nobody could be born again until Jesus had died. So it was compassion, that act of kindness. You can't do this for yourself, so I'm going to do it for you. And really, there's nothing you can do that you can repay me for it. You tell me thank you, yes, do you understand? But then I don't know if I'm ever going to see you again and be like, scratch me. I scratched your back, or no, scratch mine now. So I don't know if I've ever shared this story, but there was a time in Holland. This is a story that shaped me. And it shaped my personality. So there was a time in Holland, because of my dad's working in the embassy. He used to stay in the embassy for a long time, be there for a while. Mom had gone out, and so we had the embassy had a bus driver that used to drop us off at our various homes. And because my house was the furthest, right, they dropped me last, right? And then naturally, when it's time for school and everything, when the bus driver comes over, he picks us first, right? So he dropped me last, and Mom wasn't around. Back then, there weren't cell phones and all. So Mom wasn't around. We were living in an apartment in The Hague, and I went to the doorbell. Pressed the number for my apartment, where me and my family were, and there was no response, no nothing. And I kind of panicked, right? And then I think I was maybe 6, 7 or so, and then I was just in tears. I think I even wet myself because I was really pressed, and there was no place to relieve myself. And I was there, I was really crying. I just sat down. So there's a little hall before the door where you see the list of house numbers. When you press the bell and everything, they can open up the door for you to come in and everything. So I just sat down there and I was crying, and I noticed a lot of people were just walking by me, and maybe to some extent it's because I'm black, right? Or you get, and it's okay, see a black child, because I've seen a lot of times where white folks have helped people that are the same color. Do you understand? But that's not the basis for me. But people, just passing, I was crying, they'll just pass by and do other things, pass by. And then there was this lady with her son, and she saw me. She was crying, and then she like came in, and then she was like, "Hey, how are you?" And I was like, "I'm fine." She was like, "What's wrong?" I said that I came home, my parents are not around, and I don't know how to reach them or anything. And she was like, "Oh, that she's so sorry. That would I mind following her to the police station?" And so I was like, "Okay, yeah." So I just followed her to the police station. Her son had a toy, and then she kind of like asked me, "Okay, what would you want to drink?" She did everything to calm me down. Everything to calm me down. And I was like, "Okay, Sprite." And Sprite then was really good. I got Sprite. And then her son was like playing with the toy. And then he gave me the toy. Went to the police station, filed in a report, and they called. I had my dad's number off the office number, so they called my dad's office. They said, "Okay, your son is here." So they got someone to pick me, went over to one of his colleagues' house, right? And then she actually waited for them to come and pick me from the police station. It was now, and I never saw her again. Now you could be like, "It's a kid, no," but then a whole lot of other people saw me in my state and just kind of like walked by. Now that's how kindness really looks, because there is nothing that presents itself in the individual that you will probably say, "Let me help you," or something. The person may not be qualified, the person may not have the skills, the looks, or whatever. Right? But then you still reach out to the people, or you reach out to that person. Now, these acts are the ones that are eternal. They're the ones that are eternal. Like I said, Jesus never healed believers, or healing is not just for believers. The power of God to liberate, to love, to deliver, it's not a believer's thing. Yes, the consciousness, we have the advantage that these truths live in us. But there are many people, I've seen it many times, that probably got healed, and it was after the healing that they actually accepted Jesus. The potential to receive Jesus came after the healing. Do you understand? And so it'll be like, we want the soul. But, generally it's like to the advantage of the person you get. You got saved. Right? I'm really finding it like really, I can't find so many examples that are not probably stretching. Kindness is going to take you to the point that you're going to be stretched. People may say certain things to you or do some certain things to you, and you have the power to help, and you do it. This person can never reward you. The person can never reward you, and you still do it. The person may blatantly even hate you, but then you still do it. That's the act of kindness. Kindness would always take something from you. Always take something from you. So I wrote a song, and I think I shared it before in one of the episodes where I shared about songs and all. The song I titled "Nevertheless," right? So there's a part where in the verse it says, "A bride rejecting me will pay a price that she may never claim." And that's, Jesus talking about the church, bringing us back to Him, the whole sacrifice on the cross, and then the potential that in as much as I've made the sacrifice, there's a possibility and probability that they're still going to reject me. And then He now says, "Father, it hurts to be left alone, to bear the weight of this burden. Lord, to answer this call. Abba God, please, if there's a possibility, let this cup pass right over me. I choose your way. even through pain, I will say, nevertheless, your will, not mine. So, this is it. Kindness will get you to a position where something will be taken out of you, but that will be done for the benefit of another that probably and potentially may not be able to repay you or to even show gratitude. It's almost like selflessness, where you deliberately place value on that person. So it's not maybe like value because of skill. No, you look at the person and you place value and you say that I'm going to give you an opportunity for something that naturally maybe you're not qualified for. Now that's kindness. It's a form of help, but then it just goes deeper, right? Because you are actively involved in, helping the person get to a certain destination. I don't know. I think I've run out of examples, but within this period, I have seen kindness in so many ways. I had this friend that knew that I was going through a whole lot of things, and then she knows that I love meat, right? And she was like, okay, Dinga, I'm coming over to your area. Would you mind if I come over? Okay, no problem, just come. As in, I was broken to the core. And then she came over and then she was like, Pinga, I brought meat. She knew that I loved meat. I didn't have anything. I didn't even offer her water because I didn't have anything to give. And, she just did, her heart was more about, guy, I hope you're okay. And I just wanted to show you that I'm with you in this. Had another friend who, knew I was going through stuff, just packaged donuts, just shared it. And, wrote like an amazing note for me. Still have the note and everything. How do I repay such acts? Do you understand? People have gone out of their way to do things for me in such amazing ways, I have literally seen kindness at work. It could be from the calls, it could be from, just that, I'm checking up on you, that text message, that hug. It's just the person that received the act of kindness knows it. There is a way that there is a look in their eyes that you would get. I remember, I'll end with this story. Wow, I said it wasn't going to be long, but yeah, that's Benga. Some years back, I was heading to work and it was raining. I had my umbrella and everything, and then I saw a woman with her child. She used her wrapper to cover the child and everything. So I saw all of these guys that were selling umbrellas and all, people like hiding under some shelters like that. So she was like a little bit out of the shelter, right? So the rain was like hitting her and everything, and so she had to use her wrapper to cover her child. But I was just walking by and I just looked. So I called the umbrella guy and I was like, okay, give her. And then, just bought the umbrella. And then she was like, oh God, I don't have anything to pay you. I was like, no, it's for you. Then I just walked. From her eyes, you could see, like, thank you. Like, literally, she doesn't have the capacity or she didn't have the ability to buy an umbrella for herself and her child. I've never seen her again. I would love to see her. I've never seen her again. But I think that's how kindness is. Right? I'm sorry that I'm using myself as an example. but it's an honest example, and it's something that really fuels me as an individual. Now, Tyler, this isn't easy. It's not just something that you just do, right? Because, like I said, it reflects more like selflessness, right? So you've really, really got to be selfless in order for you to even show acts of kindness, right? And so these are things that we really need the Spirit of God to help work in us. But, ask yourself, or ask the Lord daily, who can I show kindness to today? What can I do for someone that the person may not be able to repay me? I really want to do something for someone. They may not be able to pay me back, but I'll just be satisfied in knowing that they were helped. It could be anything. It could be anything. And I can promise you, right, it would be super, super fun when you begin to do it. It's super fun. It's super fun. You have to still work, sometimes that whole thing still creeps up and tell me thank you. No, there's no point, But it could be super fun, Tyler. And it truly, truly shows the extent of God's love. Truly, truly shows the extent of God's love. Right? So show a little bit of kindness this week. Find somebody and really, really show them kindness. Right? So I really hope this has blessed you. Thank you for holding out for me, Tyler. Thank you so much. I love you big time. I believe in you. I'm always rooting for you. Thank you. Yeah, and so one more thing, please. I'd love, share this podcast with others. Let them get to hear about it. Send your reviews. I'm still looking for people that want to feature on the podcast, different topics. Just share and let's see. Right. So thank you again, Tyler. Love you and have an awesome evening. Bye.